Welcome to Book Solid, the home service growth podcast. Helping service businesses capture more calls, respond faster to leads, and turn more opportunities into book jobs.
A homeowner calls because the upstairs is hot. Your team answers quickly, asks a few questions, explains that a technician can inspect the system, and then says, "Give us a call when you're ready." 2 hours later, that homeowner books with another HVAC company. Not necessarily because the other company was cheaper. The other company simply made the next step easier. That is what we're talking about today. How to turn "let me think about it" into a clear, comfortable path towards a scheduled job. Welcome to Booked Solid, the Home Service Growth Podcast. If you run a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, roofing, or other home service business, this podcast is for you. Most service companies think they need more marketing, but the truth is, many are losing thousands of dollars every month from missed calls and slow follow-up. On this podcast, we talk about simple systems that help capture more calls, respond faster to leads, and turn more opportunities into booked jobs. I'm Jeff, and in each episode, I'll share practical strategies you can use to grow your business without adding more complexity or hiring more office staff. Let's get into it. The idea today is called the two-choice booking bridge. It is simple. Understand the customer situation, explain the next useful step, offer 2 appointment windows you can genuinely keep, and ask which one works better. That is not a hard close. It is not a trick. It is a way to remove the empty space between interest and action. Let's go back to that HVAC call. The homeowner says the upstairs rooms are warm. The air conditioner is running, but it is not keeping up. Your coordinator confirms the service area, asks when the problem started, and explains that a technician can inspect the system. The homeowner asks, "What does that usually involve?" Your coordinator gives a good explanation. Then comes the sentence that sounds harmless. "We have openings this week. Just give us a call when you're ready." The homeowner says, "Okay, let me think about it." Nothing went terribly wrong. The employee was courteous. The information was accurate. The response was reasonably fast. But listen to what the homeowner has to do next. They have to remember your company, find your number again, decide when to call, and restart the conversation. Meanwhile, another contractor says, "I can offer tomorrow morning between 8 and 10 or tomorrow afternoon between 1 and 3. Which is easier?" Now the homeowner has something concrete to react to. The problem feels like it is moving. That is the difference between being helpful and being easy to book. Here is why the two choices work so well. An open invitation creates work. The customer has to build the plan from scratch. They have to think about their schedule, decide how urgent the issue is, figure out what happens next, and decide whether they are ready to commit. Two specific choices narrow that down. That's the whole game. Give the customer something useful to react to. You are not asking them to approve a repair they have not seen. You are asking them to schedule the next step, whether that is a diagnostic visit, an inspection, an estimate, or a service call. So the conversation might sound like this. Based on what you described, the best next step is to have a technician inspect the system and explain what they find. I have Tuesday from 10 to noon or Wednesday from 2 to 4. Would either of those work for you? Notice the sequence. The appointment has a purpose. The windows are specific. The question is easy to answer. And what if both windows are bad? Good. Do not force the customer into a choice that does not fit. Say, "No problem. What part of the day is better, and I'll check the next real option." The bridge should reduce effort, not create pressure.
Before you offer a time, make sure the appointment makes sense. Ask enough questions to understand the issue, the urgency, the location, and whether the job fits your service area and technician capabilities. Then explain what the visit will accomplish. For an HVAC call, that could be inspecting the system, identifying why it is not keeping up, and explaining the available options. For a plumbing call, it might mean locating the source of a leak and reviewing the repair. For electrical work, it could mean checking the circuit and identifying the safest next step. Once the customer understands the purpose, offer 2 windows you have checked against the real schedule. Not imaginary availability, not "we should be able to get there." actual capacity your team can deliver. If your schedule changes quickly, have the coordinator verify the window before saying it out loud. A small improvement in bookings is not worth damaging trust with a promise the team cannot keep. And if the customer needs emergency attention, follow your emergency process first. The booking bridge never replaces triage or qualification. It comes after you know the appointment is appropriate.
Here's a phone version your team can practice. Thanks for explaining that. Based on what you're seeing, the next step is for a technician to take a look, confirm the cause, and walk you through the options. I can offer Tuesday between 10 and noon or Wednesday between 2 and 4. Would either of those work for you? That is short enough to remember, but it still sounds helpful. If the customer says, "I'm not sure yet," do not immediately repeat the appointment windows. Ask, "Of course, what part are you still deciding on? I may be able to answer that for you." Maybe they are worried about price. Maybe they don't know whether the issue is urgent. Maybe they need to check with someone else. Listen before you respond. If the concern is cost, be honest. "I understand." The visit will help us identify the issue and give you a clear recommendation before any repair work begins. If you decide to schedule, would Tuesday or Wednesday be easier? If the concern is timing, say, "No problem. If neither window works, what day or time is generally easier? I'll check the next available option." The script gives your team structure. It should not take away their judgment.
For text follow-up, keep it shorter. People should understand it at a glance. "Hi, this is the team at Northside Heating. Based on what you described, the next step is a technician visit to inspect the system and explain your options. We have Tuesday, 10 to noon, or Wednesday, 2 to 4. Would either work? Reply 1 for Tuesday, 2 for Wednesday, or tell us what time is better." The exact wording can change. Keep the structure, context, expectation, 2 choices, and an easy reply. A voicemail can follow the same pattern. "Hi, this is the team at Northside Heating returning your service request. We'd be happy to help with the cooling issue you described. We currently have an opening Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. Call or text us back and let us know which works better, or ask us for another option. Again, this is Northside Heating." Compare that with, "Please call us back." The second message creates another task. The first gives the customer a reason to respond and a decision they can make quickly. When homeowners are comparing several contractors, that difference matters.
This works in more places than the first inbound call. Use it when returning a missed call. Instead of only saying, "Sorry we missed you," try, "I'm returning your call about the service request. I have an opening tomorrow morning or Thursday afternoon," which is more convenient. Use it for web forms and online inquiries. A message like, "We received your request and will be in touch," is better than silence, but it leaves the next move open. Try, "We received your request and can help. We have 2 openings available. Reply with your preferred window and we'll confirm the details." You can also use it after an estimate conversation. Maybe the homeowner needs time to review the proposal. Instead of saying, "Let us know," ask, "Would Thursday morning or Friday afternoon be a better time for me to check in?" That is not booking a technician, but it uses the same principle. Replace a vague future promise with 2 realistic paths. Just assigned ownership. If you promise a Thursday follow-up, put it on a calendar or in your system. A clear next step only builds trust when somebody actually completes it.
The wording changes slightly by trade, but the bridge stays the same. A plumber might say, "We can inspect the leak Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. We'll identify where the water is coming from and explain the repair options. Which works better?" A roofer might offer an inspection tomorrow afternoon or Saturday morning. An electrician might offer 2 windows to evaluate an outlet or circuit problem. A landscaper might offer 2 times to review the property and talk through the work. The customer does not need a perfect speech. They need a clear reason for the visit and a simple way to move forward. And this does not mean every lead should be pushed towards an appointment. Some requests are outside your service area. Some are not a fit. Some customers genuinely need information first. A good process identifies those situations faster. For the customers who are a fit, it removes unnecessary friction. That is why this can improve bookings without adding another office employee. You are not creating more demand. You are helping your existing team handle the demand more clearly.
Once you start using the bridge, measure what happens. Track how many qualified inquiries received 2 appointment choices. Track how many accepted 1. Compare that booking rate with conversations that ended with a generic callback invitation. Also watch the time from first inquiry to confirmed appointment and record why people decline. Was the timing wrong? Was the customer comparing prices? Did they need a different service? Did they misunderstand what the visit included? You do not need a complicated reporting project. A spreadsheet can be enough. Record the date, service type, lead source, whether 2 choices were offered, the result, and the reason when someone does not book. After a couple of weeks, look for patterns. Maybe morning windows work better for plumbing, while HVAC customers prefer late afternoon. Maybe diagnostic visit is clearer than service call. Maybe staff members are offering choices inconsistently because the schedule changes too quickly. Test one change at a time. Keep the availability genuine, keep the explanation simple, and compare the results. The goal is not to pressure more people. It is to learn where good opportunities are getting stuck.
You can set this up today. Pick one common request, such as a no cooling call, a drain backup, or electrical troubleshooting. Write one sentence explaining what the visit will accomplish. Decide how the team will verify real availability. Then create a phone version, a text version, and a voicemail version. Put the response somewhere the team can find it, and record whether the customer was offered 2 choices. Then practice 4 situations. A customer who is ready now, a customer who needs a later time, a customer worried about price, and a customer whose request is outside your service area. Add an emergency example if your company handles emergency work. Practice the structure, not just the sentence. A helpful coordinator should be able to say the idea in natural language and adjust it to what the caller just said. If the customer works until 5, do not keep offering morning windows. If neither option fits, do not pretend the customer failed the script. Find the next real option. A good booking bridge sounds like a person who is paying attention. So when someone says, "Let me think about it," pause before assuming you need a lower price or more marketing. Ask yourself, did we make the next step clear? Did we explain what the visit would accomplish? Did we offer times we can actually keep? Did we make it easy to choose one or request another? Would Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon work better? Is easier to answer than, "Call us back when you're ready." That small change can reduce back and forth, help your team follow up with purpose, and turn more of the inquiries you already paid for into scheduled jobs. For more practical ideas, visit ProfitPulse.biz and download the free guide, 107 Quick Wins for Home Service Businesses. It is built for owners and operators who want simple ways to capture more calls, follow up faster, and book more work without adding unnecessary complexity. Thanks for listening to Booked Solid, the Home Service Growth Podcast. If this episode helped, subscribe so you do not miss future conversations about simple systems for capturing calls, responding faster, and booking more jobs. And if you know another contractor who could use this idea, share the show with them. Until next time, keep building systems that turn more calls into booked jobs.